What's up, everyone? This is Nick here with TradeSpace, and today we're going to do a little bit of day trading, just kind of getting warmed up again for the new year. Right now we're looking at three different tickers: the ES, the Crude Light, and Gold. So, as per normal, this is all happening live right before us. We normally start from the daily chart and work our way down, but we're a little bit late today. Had some technical difficulties getting started, so now that everything's sorted out, we're not going to go over the daily for each chart. In fact, I haven't even looked over all of these charts, so we're just going to kind of find out for ourselves what is happening here, what's going on. So E-mini is facing a wedge on the daily chart, namely, very briefly draw it here. We mentioned before that this low was going to be our profit target for the bears for the second leg down. Double bottom for the bulls. Very worst, we would get down to here, but it's hard to tell unless you just have price action going on in the moment, strong price action, which we didn't have. We had inside bear bar, we had a failed outside breakout here to the downside. Then we had a great inside bar, being this bull bar for the bulls to buy on. It actually might be just a little bit outside with the wick, but it's still a great signal bar nonetheless. Now we do have some resistance at the moving average, which we did find sellers at before when we jumped down below and retested it. So as we scroll out of here, we zoom way out and we look at this, and you might say, well, the bear breakout was weak, we had a double bottom, so surely we'll go and try to push higher. And it's not unreasonable to say that. However, what's really happening here is more likely a range, and the market is going to enter a relatively tight range for a while here with some key levels. If it breaks out beyond this, there's a key level here. It's going to be a key level at the previous high. In fact, you would think of this previous high as a magnet. It's going to reach that previous high and test it at some point. Bulls want it to be within this leg. They want it to be a double bottom and a test of the previous high within this leg here. I'm not sure if they're going to get it or not. It's probably realistically going to be a little bit more sideways, even if they get a strong bar here. My guess is we're going to have at least one or two sideways days before we test the previous high. And there's historically, we have evidence to support that. Previous high here, we found a lot of sellers. Previous high, we had a breakout, wasn't a really strong breakout, and sellers came in not long after. Here's a high here, breakout, not a very strong breakout. Big deep pullback, definitely created a negative gap with this high here, and the same exact thing here happened here. Breakout, not especially strong. This one was stronger, but it was climactic, really. This breakout was not as strong. We got right around just a little bit higher, and we found more sellers. So it's more likely that we're going to be entering a range within the markets here soon. So don't just be too gun-ho thinking that we're going to go straight up or straight down. We're likely going to go sideways. Let's look at the 1 hour. Open and close lines can be a little bit distracting on the 1 hour. It's about 20 days worth of 1 hour data. It's enough for us to get the gist of what's going on. We're essentially in a range. I don't think that we need to rely a whole lot on the 1 hour data because A, we're not trading the 1 hour chart, and B, we understand what's happening based on the daily chart, and you want to know more information, you just reduce it down a little bit more. Here's a 15. There are some levels here we should consider marking, namely this level. Maybe we should be a little bit higher up with it, a little closer to there. Mark this previous height here. I'm not going to mark it. I'm going to mark it like this though. So I'm going to mark that. So there's some obvious levels here on the 15. Had a channel down. Now we are experiencing a channel up and a break of that channel. Right, so channel, just some, say channel here. And it's also 3 pushes up, right? It's 1, 2, 3. Push down to here, this is going to be our first profit target. It's going to be somewhere in here. We're about to hit it. Next profit target is going to be somewhere in here. Now, just because this is a profit target here, that doesn't mean that we're going to get there. It's just an area to be aware of. And it should be enough marks for now. Thing I am going to do is my indicators, in case anyone was curious. Sometimes the open line just annoys me though. Alright, big bear bars here. So we have a few things going on. Let's just zoom out while we're not in a trade and talk about this just a little bit. We have wedge up, 1, 2, 3. And it's even kind of a biclimax if you look at it, if you really think about it, because it's like smaller leg, little bigger leg, really big leg, really strong, and then a sudden sell off here. A nice little bear trend from the very top. That was our first initial push down, but this is our first break of the channel. So you kind of got to ask yourself, is this leg 1 and this is going to be leg 2? Of course this hasn't developed yet, we'll have to see how this really develops. Or is this separate? Is this going to be 1, 2, 3? Or is it more like 1, 2 and this is our first leg down? Something we don't really know. So this is the ES. We're going to keep an eye on this, continue to keep an eye on this. Let's go to crude light real quick. Oh, crude light. Look at this big range it's in. So we know that we're mostly ranging. I did think that this was going to be a lot more of a bearish breakout. It did not end up being that. I think I kind of see why now. It's more at the bottom of a range. Throw the bottom of the range up. There's really several you can draw, but you can think of anywhere from here to here being buy areas. Here we have a triangle, which is a breakout pattern. just above. The profit target is likely going to be up here. So we'll see if we get the ability to trade that. This might be a good place to trade today. Let's take a quick look. So we're going to go ahead and mark this trend line here, even though I'm not sure how valid it's going to be in today's session, but it might be, so I'm going to keep it there. See, we opened with a tight range in the early morning, or last night, and then in the early morning. This is a 15-minute, so the bars are a little bit consolidated. We got a breakout of this range, one leg up. It's strong enough, you would think that there might be a second leg to it. I guess this could be the second leg, but right now we're finding resistance up top, and it might be a low risk trade, to be honest with you. Might be a low risk short, betting on the double top. It's actually not a bad little trade. Kind of counter trend. Not extraordinarily high probabilities, but not horrible either. The risk is relatively low. Let's see if we're not too late for this. So if I actually get filled here, which that is to be determined, what are my profit targets? Right now I'm really eyeing the bottom of this range here. My thought is either the bottom of the range or the high of this range here, of the opening range. That's my thought process. I don't know if I'm actually going to get filled into this or not. We're going to find out. But I don't think it's a bad trade. It's not really something I'm going to make an incredible amount of money on. But why not? There we go. Stop loss, just a tick. And really, if we're dealing with something like something that is in the tenths, right? Or not even. So something like this, I want to give it a few ticks extra. Maybe a little less than that. A few ticks extra. And let's see here. Just trying to think if I want to, how I would want to take profits here. I can take profits with my stop loss, or I can take profits with my take profit should I become profitable. Let's look at the daily real fast. This might be a bull bar. It's probably less likely to be a bear bar. And if it was a bear bar, it'd have to drop pretty low. There's a low. Open is going to be somewhere in the middle. So it could drop down to here and still be a bull bar. Kind of far away from the moving average. We are on a nice trend too. We have had a pullback. I think for the time being, so if I hold it too long, this isn't a strong breakout, I'm just going to hold this all day. For the time being, I'm just going to put it in the bottom of this range. And we're going to move on and see kind of what happens. Here's the ES again. Nice little breakout. With a wide enough stop, it really would be reasonable to sell under some of these bars here. That's a 15 minutes. Go to a 5. Look at that, a real strong breakout. Yeah, that's a separate day. I think that this is one. This is a big breakout right here. And we need to look for a second leg short here sometime after some form of a pullback. That's how the daily is starting to look. We just talked about sideways action on the daily chart and probably disappointed bulls. I do think it's going to, I mean, the high, the previous all-time high is a magnet. So it'll get tested eventually. Question is when. I don't think it's going to happen too awfully soon. We have a nice little push down. Technically speaking, you have a nice break like this, probably expect a second leg down. You want to short the low one. The issue is always shorting a low one far away from the moving average. Lots and lots of risk there. Generally, if you take a low one far from the moving average, you want to be able, you want to give yourself the ability to scale in. Alright, next thing we want to look at real quick is gold. Gold has been killing it and will likely continue to kill it. I am bullish on gold. In fact, actually, if you were in my signals group this time last year, this time last year, I said in my signals group that I think that 2024 was going to be a big year for gold. And it was. It was a pretty good year. It did kind of go off my radar for a while, though. Got really focused on stocks for a lot of 2024. Alright, so in gold here, we have a big trend. And notice what's happening here is kind of what happened last time. I'll show you in just a second. Big push up. It's consolidation in this. It's very triangle-like. See how it consolidates. And then explosion up. And this one ended up kind of being in the range. It's more like sort of a breakout pullback kind of. Once again, more consolidation here. Consolidation. And another explosion up. Consolidation again. Explosion up. Here, consolidating. You can draw this multiple ways. You can draw it like this. Doesn't look bad. Honestly, it really doesn't look bad at all. You could think of it as a range, maybe even two ranges. Think of it as a lot of ways. If you use indicators, should be lots of indicators that can clearly show that price is consolidating. Or you can just use your eyes and see that price is consolidating. Let's see where we're at here. We're just kind of chilling. The ES. This is a sell opportunity if you're willing to scale in. I do kind of want it. We're super bearish. Of course, as soon as I want it, we're sort of out of the loop here. I'm going to have to let this go, guys. I can't. Sometimes if there's a bull bar like this and you think we're especially bearish, and really you want to be able to scale in anyway, but this right here is a pullback. That's why we're seeing more selling happening here. The sell-off was so strong that the tiniest little movement is a pullback. Okay, we're going to have to let that one go. We're up almost a point on crude. We're just kind of letting it go. Gold, we're looking at some consolidation. This may or may not be decent to trade in the moment. Oh, but it might be. Looks like maybe we have a big bear breakout we can trade. Let's look. Just mark some levels really quick. I'm not going to spend a lot of time on this. This big bullish push, but starting to look kind of climactic, isn't it? You tell me, guys, you think a big bear bar like that is going to have a second leg down? Maybe. Kind of bullish in here. Context isn't necessarily so great. We do have a nice double top. We'll sit here and wait and see what happens. Okay, guys, so what would happen if we sold this? We have two options. One is to just kind of scalp. If you're really clever and you still want a 2-to-1, put your stop above the bull bar or above this previous bear bar and just trade 2-to-1. if you want to scalp but still technically have good risk to reward. Now what happens if we sold under here and now this is happening? What do? We have to be willing to sell more. We have to be willing to hold through this pullback and sell more, which is why you can't just jump into these really big. If your max size is 4 contracts, just as a random amount, and you sold 4 contracts under here and it didn't go very far, it didn't hit your profit target, and you're waiting for price to go back down, it probably will eventually, but you're going to hold 4 contracts throughout all of here. But if you just sold one and then it pulls back against you and you sell another, pulls back against you and you sell another, it's a lot better off. Now you might be like, it's a high 1 by the way, you might be like, well, you don't make as much money that way. So, well, no, of course you don't. But on a trade like this, you're going to win 70% of the time. So you can have it one way or the other. You can have a high probability, or you can have a higher profit target and a good risk to reward. But it's extremely rare that you can have both. Extremely rare. It's almost a phenomenon. So we didn't get filled, so we're not in it. But if we did, what would we have to do? Sell more somewhere up here. We'd have to find a place to sell more. Now if you sold, let's just say that you traded real small, and let's just say you sold 1 contract under here and the price just kept going down, and you might be like, well, I didn't even get my full 4 contracts in. That is true, but you have to let these things go. If you start making exceptions to the rules, then you're going to develop bad habits. And you're going to lose, and you're going to lose hard. So stick by the rules. I get that sometimes you don't make as much as you want to make on these big breakouts. But frankly, these are hard to catch, and you got to keep in mind that there's still a possibility that you can lose. In a case like that, just got to be understanding and thankful that you got anything at all. Showing a little bit of support at the 20 EMA here. Just a little bit of a range, waiting for that to break down some more. It is also kind of a final flag in here and a leg down. So hopefully it won't be a failed final flag. Hopefully hoping for like 1, 2. Like I said, just trying to get to the bottom of the range there. Waiting for gold to give me an opportunity to be short, and the ES as well. Everything's kind of pulling back a little bit. Maybe that's what's happening with crude light too. Either way, we're just here relaxing, drinking tea at this point. Guys, if you like my analysis, I actually have a really cool Discord you can join for free. And then I also post a lot of updates on there. I have a lot of projects that I work on. I do one-on-one mentoring, so I'd be happy to sit down and give you a free consultation. I teach futures trading, stocks, options, ETFs. I also have a signals group where we trade high probability stock, options, ETF, and futures. I give signals in there. Had an amazing 2024. A lot of growth in the group. And then I'm also working on a new alerts program. So if you have Telegram, you can get market alerts. These market alerts are tailored to my proprietary algorithms that I am in beta testing with right now. Now, if you're interested in just having the algorithms trade for yourself, I also have a program for that. If you're interested, shoot me a message and I will get you added to the group. Should be coming out here. Some of the first algorithms should be coming out probably by the end of January, so super excited about that. Super excited to test them out. If you're interested at all, you have to get in touch with me either through my email, on Fiverr, or through Discord. Might just kind of get got in the pullback here. That's alright. Hoping for a 50% pullback or less. I'm not too worried about this either. Just kind of waiting on this chart to continue to develop. Ranging. It's definitely a possibility that it could have found support here. But kind of hoping that it was just fluid. And gold, waiting on gold. Oh wow, I might need to be getting orders up for everything. Okay. Got a little over a minute left in these bars here. Too worried about that. It's kind of weird for the ES because this probably isn't going to be a signal bar, but I might have one on gold. A little less than 60 seconds left. Alright, if it's an outside bar, we can enter. Might want to enter with a smaller size though. I'll go ahead and let this bar finish. It's not exponentially more risk to let it finish. We have less than a minute. It is going to be outside. Signal bar, tell you what though, that is a low one short. Oops, I already have an order up. Retarded. Trading small, right guys? Really? Really? Oh, and I don't have, it didn't fill my stop loss. Jeez. Why? Super annoying. Oops. That's good enough for me. It did. Really? Really? Are you serious right now? I'm gonna have to just use this as my stop loss. Oh wait, that is sell, isn't it? Guys, if you want to be a trader, you gotta be good at dealing with technical crap like this. This is money on the line, guys. If you can't fix your stuff like immediately, then you know that's it. I am putting my stop in kind of a weird spot for the moment here. I want to keep it kind of far away from here in case there's more ranging action here. Okay. Let's see how she finishes. I think my big fear here is that this is just volatility, but you really just want to wait for the SPAR to finish anyway. And then depending on how it finishes, I might move to break even because we might have a bit more of a range here before we go further. I want to go ahead and eliminate risk, but at the same time I want to allow myself to be a winner, so working on that. Guys, you gotta stay calm in pressure situations too. Difficulties happen sometimes. I know for a fact I checked my chart trader and I had my ATM strategy on. The only thing I can think of is just that I did have to re-download Ninja recently, and so I had to redo all of my settings. I'm gonna go ahead and move this to break even because we did touch the bottom here. We pretty much met our profit target. This could go a little bit more sideways. Yeah, it's fine. I think that's, I'm not sure if that's +1, but it's fine. So I don't know if it's going to break out or not, but and it really is a tough one. You're just going to have to look to re-enter if you get stopped out break even here. But I'm hoping that this is strong enough. This low one entry is going to be good enough that we'll be fine. We got less than a minute left in the bar. It's probably going to be a bear bar. It's just, will it break down below the low here? We're going to find out. If it doesn't, it might go sideways and stop me out. If it does that, then I just need to look for another opportunity to sell. But we're at the previous low here. we're following our rules. My rule is to move to break even at the previous low. I guess technically speaking, you're a tick off, but it's a tick. The market's not perfect. We got to be reasonable. So even if this does end up being a range here, having your stop up here increases the probability of you actually winning a trade. So it's really just about what you want, about what sort of risk you can tolerate, what your plans are. See, now gold is looking just a little bit weak. It might have a second small leg up. That's kind of why I wanted to keep my stop a little bit further away. Something like this too, it's not really like the ES where you're risking exponentially more. Alright, hopefully this will be a bear breakout and I can make a lot of money. It is probably not a bad idea here too. If you are a winner in a situation like this, just go ahead and take some off the table. I'm not going to do that though. I'll actually go into my NinjaTrader settings and reconfigure everything. I've been developing some indicators for NinjaTrader 2. Pretty cool. They're all based off of mathematical formulas. They're all predictive formulas based on probabilities. So some of these equations, but basically what they allow me to do is they allow me to see where the absolute lows of the market is, where the absolute highs are, and when it regresses from one level to another, what's the probability of it going from that level to another level. Still needs a little bit of work, but noticing that it's doing really well, and it's predicting the bottom of things very accurately within a few points. Okay, there we go. It's more like it. That's a little better right there. So, okay. There's our next profit target right here. See if I can't go ahead. It does look like a pretty good place to be taking profits. So let's go ahead and take a quick 22 points. Oops, what are you doing? Alright, got out of there. Some big technical difficulties today, huh? It's kind of ridiculous. Either way, we're fine now. Looks like a pretty good place to have been taking profits. Got a quick 20 points on the ES. We do have gold that we're still looking at here. Still in gold. Not quite as exciting, just up 4 points. Crude light, I'm getting kind of annoyed by. It's just allow myself to get stopped out here. Just kind of this range. I just want to be out of this range right now. Even if it ends up being a winner. Kind of done with it. Okay. A little over $1,000 so far today. Alright, the only thing we have to do now is to wait on gold. Waiting on gold. It's always so slow, I swear. Having a pretty good day today. Only, let's see, I guess I've been here less than an hour. So, how many people do you know can make $1,000 in less than an hour? There's not too many people out there who can do it. Thinking about just getting out of gold too. We're just going to have to see how this develops. I don't want this bear bar to be climactic. If so, then it's probably going to be a second leg up. And if that's the case, I almost feel like I might as well just wait for the second leg up and then sell again up here. That, and I don't think that we're going to have enough time in this video. I'm not going to sit here for 2-3 hours and let y'all stare at a screen. Y'all can go home and stare at your own screens. Curious to see if we end up finding support here or not. Alright guys, I'm just going to sit here and wait in gold. If I feel like this bear bar is going to be climactic and we're going to have a second leg up, then I'm going to move to break even and I will just sell higher. But I'm not going to have y'all sit and wait through that. Good little day, 20 points with one contract equals right around $1,000. So pretty good day on the ES. Hope everyone else is having a good day as well. I will probably be in and out of this, but for the most part I'm going to be in my Discord today. So guys, if you're interested in getting signals from me, getting signals trading stocks, futures, options, ETFs, my Discord is a great place to be. If you're interested in algorithmic trading, then get with me and I will get you access to my Discord there where you can receive updates and know as soon as it comes out. Alright everyone, have a great day. Best of luck trading.